Hi friends, welcome to another video of mine. If you guys are new here, my name is Rachelle. I am so glad you guys clicked on this video. In this video, I'm going to share with you all the books I read in April and all the books I want to read in the month of May. When I do my reading wrap-ups and my TBR videos, I usually separate them into two different videos, but for this time, I'm combining the two because in the month of April, I didn't read that many books. I only read 3 books because I just got really busy in April. It was definitely a slow reading month, but that's okay. I just hope that in May, I'll find the time to read a little bit more. Anyway, let's just jump right into this video and start with my April wrap-up. The first book I read is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I was actually so lucky and I got the arc of this book. I got it in March. So I actually started reading this book in March, but then I finished it in April. I actually finished this book the day before it came out on April 1st. This book was publicly released on April 2nd. So I definitely just finished this book in time before it came out. If you guys don't know who Abby Jimenez is, she is a romance author. So this book is a romance. And this book follows Justin, and he is cursed. Every woman he dates goes on to find their soulmate after they break up. And because of a Reddit thread, his dilemma is now all over the internet. But when Emma slides into his DMs with the same problem, they form a plan. They both will date each other and then they will break up in hopes that they can cancel each other's curses so they can both go on to find their soulmate. It's a really silly idea, but theoretically it should work. Emma is a traveling nurse and she didn't expect for her next assignment to be in Minnesota, but her and her best friend think this plan with Justin is too good of an opportunity to pass up. So they head to Minnesota, and this thing with Justin is supposed to be a summer fling, but they both end up catching real feelings for each other. This is actually the first Abby Jimenez book I've read, and it did not disappoint. I loved reading this book so much. It touched on real life issues, but it had a hopeful and heartwarming feel to it. This book made me feel all the feels. I really appreciated how Abby incorporated many quirky elements to help make a story with real life issues feel more lighthearted while still keeping the serious factor. It just made the book more of a fun read. Emma and Justin are also such likable characters, and their meet cute is so special and unique. I don't think I've ever read a romance where the couple meets on Reddit or online in general. I just love how real their meeting felt, and their banter was also so entertaining to read, and the chemistry between the two of them was just undeniable. It was also so refreshing to read a romance where communication happened between the two lovers. There are so many romances out there where miscommunication is the root of all their problems, and honestly it just gets a little tiresome sometimes. Also, Justin is so sweet to Emma. He is honestly such a gentleman. I'm not gonna lie, when I was reading the book, I was swooning over him. This book just made me believe in true love and soulmates. Just for the Summer is also a dual POV story, and this method of storytelling worked really well. Emma and Justin both had a lot to unpack, so it was necessary to read from both of their POVs to understand and connect with both of their characters. My rating for this book is 4.25 stars. I just want to thank Forever Publishing and Nick Galley for the arc. The next book is The Second Chance Year. This is again a romance. In this book, Sadie's life has hit an all-time low. She lost her job, her boyfriend, and her own place. She is now forced to live in the spare room of Jacob's apartment, who is her brother's best friend. But one day, Sadie attends this New Year's Eve party and she meets a fortune teller. She is granted one wish, so she wishes to turn back time and redo her past year in hopes to correct her choices to receive different outcomes. But little does she know, turning back time isn't as simple as it seems, and it comes with its own set of new problems. This book was definitely a nice closed-door romance. It does touch on serious topics and it has life lessons weaved into the story, but it was all very subtle and not in your face at all. I wouldn't say the romance is the main storyline in this book because this book focuses on Sadie's happiness and her being true to herself. So this book really isn't your typical romance, but I found this book refreshing because most romances out there directly revolve around the two love interests. I ended up giving this book 4 stars. The last book I read in April is The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. This is their new release, and I also got the arc of this book too. This book is also a romance. In this book, Anna and Liam got married in college so they can get subsidized family housing together, and Anna thought that when she graduated she signed divorce papers, but it never ended up going through. 3 years later, Anna is a starving artist living paycheck to paycheck, while Liam is a professor. However, Liam finds himself in a problem. He comes from a very wealthy family, and he wants to claim his inheritance, but there's a catch. In his grandfather's will, it says that Liam has to be happily married married for 5 years in order to receive it. And worst of all, in the present day, he has a family wedding to attend, and he and his wife must attend to show his family that they are happily married. So of course, Liam has to go back to Anna and ask for her help. I was actually really excited to read this book, but sadly, it was a little bit of a disappointment. Seeing that the book falls into the fake marriage trope, I thought I was gonna love it because I thought it was gonna be similar to a book that falls into the fake dating trope. However, there was no tension, entertaining banter, or even a solid backstory to help you root for the characters. The chemistry just felt like lust. Anna and Liam did get married in the past for personal gains, but besides being roommates, they had no real relationship, whether it was platonically as friends or romantically. 3 years later, Anna didn't even recognize Liam when they reconnected, and she didn't even know his name was Liam. I just can't imagine sharing a space with someone for a few years and not even knowing a thing about them. But that's also not the only reason why I don't like Anna. When Anna and Liam are negotiating compensation, after he tells her that he needs her help, she goes and says to him, "What number would make you sweat a little?" I understand that Anna needs the money with good reason, but her saying that just made her such an unlikable character. I can't love a character who takes advantage of a situation like that. That is just so rude to say to someone no matter how wealthy they are, and it just makes her sound flat out greedy. My rating of this book is 2.75 stars. It's definitely probably my least favorite Christina Lauren book, but thank you Simon & Schuster and NetGalley for the arc. Moving on to my May TBR, the first book is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I actually already finished reading this book. I started this book end of April and I finished it on like May 1st or 2nd, but I will share with you guys my thoughts on this book in my May wrap up, and I also read this book in a reading vlog, so stay tuned for that vlog. The next book I'm reading this month is Binding 13. I'm actually currently reading this book on my Kindle through Kindle Unlimited. I am really enjoying this book a lot more than I thought I would. Once I left high school, I was kind of over it, and any books that kind of reminded me of high school just wasn't it for me. I just didn't like reading it for some reason. I guess I just didn't really like being thrown back into the high school setting, but this book takes place in high school and I am actually eating this book up. Like, I'm inhaling the story, which is actually so surprising because I never thought I would be addicted to a story like this. I'm like 65% of the way through this book, so I'm not done yet, but I have a feeling I'm gonna finish it soon, so maybe, just maybe, I might start the next book in the series right after, which is Keeping 13, I believe. The next book is The Great Alone. I'm actually currently reading this book as well. I'm like this much of the way through the book, so it's not that much. I would say I've read a third of the book. So far, I am liking this book, but it was a bit of a slow start for me. Although I'm kind of regretting starting this book and Binding 13 together because both of these books features toxic, abusive families, and it's just making me really sad right now. The decision to read both of these stories together just wasn't a good one. I'm just gonna push through it and finish them both. But I for sure would like to read something happy after both of these books. So the next book I want to read after this is A Touch of Darkness. I believe this is a romantasy, but it's mainly romance, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but I do know that it's a Greek mythology story and it features Hades and Persephone. So I'm definitely hoping this book is a little bit happier. And then the last book I'm hoping to get to in May is From Blood and Ash, another romantasy, which is right up my alley. I love romances and fantasies, and together they are just such amazing reads. I heard so many good things about this book, so I'm really excited to read it. I actually do plan to read both of these two books in a reading vlog, so stay tuned for that. I will definitely be sharing with you my thoughts as I'm reading both of these books in that reading vlog. Okay friends, that is all I have for you guys in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about my April wrap up and my May TBR. As always, if you guys have read any of these books, please let me know your thoughts on them in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys think, and if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel while you're at it if you haven't done so. I post a lot of book content, so if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe. It's practically free entertainment. And with that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!
Pull the key out the ignition. Run your mouth but I never listen. You hold me back, will never last. Keep talking all your shit. Wondering how all this started. You left me broken hearted. You flip my words, yeah, this love hurts. Keep talking all your shit.